and I ended up busting in all his windows. See, this was toxic as fuck, crazy as fuck. I ended up busting in all his windows, and he went to my car and got my keys in my car. And I'm like, I thought he was gonna try to break my window again. But he like, you going to jail today, ho. You going to jail today. Hello world, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Joy, and here we're all about growing and glowing, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join the fam. Okay, and today's topic of discussion is a story time. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to make the title, but yeah, it's a story time. So it's a story time about a time when the other girl had contacted me. Okay, so basically I had just moved to Dallas. I had just moved to Dallas, and I had just got on bad terms with my best friend. So I was like, I needed somebody, to talk to and stuff, because me and my best friend had just fell out. So y'all, I was doing so bad there too. Like, I had just moved here, so I ain't really have nothing. I ain't really have nothing at all. So anyway, I had met, so the dude that I'm gonna be telling y'all about, we gonna name him the Leather Dragon. Yeah, we gonna name him the Leather Dragon. So I had met the Leather Dragon, I think it was in the summertime some years ago. First I met his mama. I had asked his mama for something. I was looking for something, and his mama had introduced me to him. And of course, he just, when I seen him, y'all, he just was not my type. he just was not my type, y'all. He wasn't my type, and I didn't even look twice. I was, can you just point me to where I need to go? But anyway, I had his number because I had to text him, whatever. And so I think he had shot at me through a text message, like, hey, I don't remember exactly what he said, but yeah, he was trying to holler through the message. And I just blew him off for months. I had blew him off for months. I had basically just blew him off for months or whatever. I'm trying to see, because me and my best friend at the time, I was all about my best friend, but my best friend had some other shit going on, so we would be off and on. So I think he had texted me. No, yeah, so when I met him, me and my best friend, we was kind of rocky or whatever. But like I said, I had just, blew him off for months. So months later, me and my best friend, we had fell off. And so I had just got my place or whatever, and I was, damn. I was bored, I was lonely, I was home by myself, I ain't know nobody like that. My best friend wasn't fucking with me. Was messing with me. So he had texted me, and I'm just like, ugh, let me text his ugly ass back. So I text him back or whatever, and I guess it was just the timing. He was like, well, let me slide through, I'll bring you something to eat. I don't remember exactly what he said. Let him slide through and come over or whatever. So I was like, he was just so not nothing that I was interested in. And I was just like, well, I mean, I guess, I guess you can come over. So it was a late night, y'all, late night. And he come over, and I was just like, ugh, I'm just gonna see what that talking about. If it's cool, then, I guess, he can stay around. If it's not, so, but mind y'all, we were still talking, for months or whatever. I just wasn't giving him no play like that. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I just talked to him when I was bored. I wasn't really, giving him no real attention. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and see, what Leather Dragon talking about. So yeah, I let him come over, right? I let him come over, you know. It was late night. So I let him come over. And y'all, y'all, it was real good. It was good. So I was like, okay, you know, okay, Leather Dragon, I see you. So I was like, well, I guess, you know, he just gonna have to do it right now, because I wasn't really just trying to be out there like that. I was still trying to get my stuff, you know, together. But I do, you know, I did want somebody that I could chill with, you know, and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, well, you know, fuck it. We gonna chill with Leather Dragon for right now. Let me get my shit together. We gonna, you know, we're gonna chill with him for right now. So, like, when he would come over, y'all, like, when I tell y'all I was such a bitch, like, I was changing my covers because I didn't want to be laid up with my covers that I sleep with, like him. So I put like some guest covers on my bed, and like literally, like when it was over, I just be like, I don't want to cuddle or nothing. Like I really wouldn't mind if you just went ahead and left for real. And so y'all, we did that a couple times. And I know he was like, man, this is crazy. Like I didn't want to cuddle or nothing. Like I'm like, I was good, you know. So one day, girl, yeah. So one night, I guess he decided he ain't going for that. Bitch, you finna cuddle with me. So, you know, after everything, he like forced me to cuddle with him. Yeah, I low-key like that aggressive shit. So I was just like, you know when like a ugly dude got some, you know, good, you know, it's kind of like they start looking attractive in some kind of way. You know, like certain stuff about them just start becoming attractive, you know. I don't know if it's the D, I don't know what it is. We start cuddling or whatever, and it just kind of like escalated from there. So he started coming over regularly, like almost every night, you know, or whatever. And I kind of liked the way we had it set up, because I would go to work early in the morning, and then he would leave like early in the morning, so it was perfect. My bad, y'all, I had to go run and do something. And everything was good, you know. He had, you know, helped me, you know, get my car fixed. One time my car had broke down and stuff. And his mama, she was real cool. She was funny as hell. She was cool. But so, you know, like when you messing with somebody, you know, and it's kind of like steady, a consistent thing, you kind of start like developing feelings, you know, like even if you know, like, look, this ain't even really gonna go nowhere. I know I'm just doing this because of this. You still, you know, kind of like develop feelings or whatever. So I was stigmatized. But I started trying to figure out, like, so where the fuck did, where this nigga be? Like, you know, like, yeah, he come over here at 10 or whatever, but where he be at? Like, you know, because he told me that he had his stuff at his mama house, y'all. And see, this was all kind of red flags from the jump, but all kind of red flags. He said his stuff was at his mama's house or whatever. So I had ended up talking to his mama, and his mama was like, see, he had told me he only had, let's see, he told me that he only had 3 baby mamas. And that one of the kids wasn't really his, but he just, you know, I guess played a daddy role. But I had stopped by his mama's house one day, and she was like, the other, I guess the baby mama came over here, they arguing and tripping, and she was, you know, worried, trying to find where he been. And I was like, what baby mama? Cause, you know, hell, from my understanding, he don't deal with none of his baby mamas. And she was like, Liddy, and she was like, we gonna call her, what we gonna call her? We gonna call her Pumpkinhead. And so she was like, Pumpkinhead. And I was like, Pumpkinhead? Oh, I ain't never heard about her. And she was like, you know who Pumpkinhead is? And I was like, And she was like, now they know they need to stop playing. She was like, you know, she started describing her to me or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. So I forgot how I found out where she stayed. And so, now it might have been way after when I found out where she stayed. But his mama told me that And so, you know, my big mouth ass, I'm like, oh, your mama told me about Pumpkinhead. Like, who was Pumpkinhead? And he like, man, she lying. She just mad because I won't give her no money. Like, you know, these niggas come up with anything. And so I'm like, he trying to get me to come inside so his mama can tell me that she was lying. But she was like, I ain't finna play with you, you know. And I was like, man, I'm not going in there for you to like try to pressure her to lie to me, you know. So he was upset about that. You know, he went crazy about that because she told me that he went crazy about that. And then, lo and behold, I don't know how long it was, probably some months later or whatever. Mind you, this nigga's coming over to my house every night. So I get a call like, hello, are you talking to my baby daddy? And I'm like, shit, who your baby daddy? Maybe like, you know, who your baby daddy? And so she like, the leather dragon. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'm talking to the leather dragon. What's going on? Like, you know, what's up? Oh, because I saw your text message. And I'm like, you saw my text message? And she like, yeah, I went through his phone and I saw y'all texting each other, whatever, and da da da. And I'm like, okay, so, but who are you, you know? So she told me Pumpkinhead, the same girl the mama was telling me about. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, his mama had said something about you, but he said she was lying. And she was like, no, we've been together for 4 years. We got a 1-year-old together. He fathers my youngest son. We live together. All his stuff is over here. But it get worse, y'all. It get worse. That car he driving is mine. He ain't got no money. He broke. He this, he that. And I'm like, Lord. I'm like, well, look, sis, I don't know. Like, when I met him, he ain't have nothing. You know, I'm the one who helped him get this and that. You know, and I told her, you know, I've been talking to him for about a year. And she was like, a year? And I'm like, Like, he be over here almost every night. You know, that's why I was so confused. Like, these niggas, when I tell y'all, these niggas, when they want to do something, they gonna find a way. They gonna find a way. And so she just couldn't believe it, you know, and all this, and she was upset with him and everything. And so of course I was like upset. I'm like, dude, you didn't even have to lie, like, you know, because I really wasn't even looking for no relationship. I had just got here, so I really wasn't trying to, you know, get locked down. I wasn't trying to be in a relationship anyway. I just wanted someone to chill with, you know, with no drama though. And so yeah, I had, you know, I was upset about that. And so he called me like, man, you know, trying to explain. And I'm like, no, like, you live with her, like, you lied about this whole baby, like, about this whole other life, you know? So I'm just like, dude, like, So y'all know niggas don't give up like that. These kind of niggas, them lying, nothing ass niggas, you know, they are persistent. They not gonna give up. And I stayed like 30 minutes away from where he was at. So this nigga, he drives out there like trying to explain, and I was just like, no, like, this nigga was not gonna let up. He just, you know, kept trying to explain. So it was getting dark, you know. So I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I can listen, you know. I mean, it was before me. So we, you know, and I think he spent the night that night. Yeah, I think he spent the night that night. And, you know, we left the next morning and, you know, our normal thing. So I know y'all probably like, well, damn, Joy, did you start talking to him, you know, after the baby mama, you know, the girlfriend or whoever, you know, came and, you know, said that they was, you know, had a whole relationship and everything? No, I didn't stop. I didn't stop, y'all. But it was crazy because, like, I was trying to tell him, like, look, man, you know, like, you got a whole, you know what I'm saying, you need to go take her that, you know, and I need to focus on me. But he like, nah, you know, nigga, I don't want to be with her. I really don't even like her. She just got pregnant. So, yeah, y'all know how these niggas do. So I'm just like, Anyway, we kept on dealing with each other. And the pumpkin head, like, I guess maybe, you know, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but I feel like when two women are dealing with a dude, like, say for example, a girl is messing with a guy and they're having issues, you know, like they having relationship problems at the moment. I feel like the second the girl finds out that there's another guy, like, it becomes like a competition. Like, you know, like, if she doesn't leave him right then and there, when she finds out about the other girl, I feel like it kind of becomes like a competition. You know, like, well, I ain't finna stop messing with him, leave him out, like, you leave him alone. Like, you know, it kind of, and it's like a lose-lose situation for the women, because it's like the nigga really getting what he wants. Like, you know, I hate it that way, but it just kind of seems like it's that way to me. So when she found out about me, she wasn't, you know, she didn't leave him alone, I guess. And I didn't leave him alone. So y'all, we was just playing tennis with this nigga, you hear me? And that is so bad, but it's the truth. So, like, he'll come over or whatever. You know, we was still doing our own thing. And he, like, I remember one night she called me. She was like, she had her baby with his daughter, and she was crying in the background, and she was like, Joy, is the leather dragon over there? It was like 12 or something, 1. And y'all know we had just, you know, put that ass to sleep when it's no chest. So she like, Joy, is the leather dragon over there? And I'm like, yeah, he sleep. And she like, you know, she said that baby was crying and she didn't feel good. And I'm like, you ain't got no medicine to give her? And she like, I need some money. Can you wake him up? Now she know damn well she had some NyQuil or something she could have gave that baby. Took her to the hospital or something. She called him thinking that he was finna get up and go to take her to get some medicine or whatever she said she needed. And so I woke him up. I'm like, hey, you know, Pumpkinhead on the phone. She said the baby crying. She needs some medicine. And he was like, well, just tell her to take her to the hospital, like, or, you know, go over into the store and get some medicine. Like, I'm way out here, and I'm not a doctor. Like, if she's sick, like, if I come, they gonna make her better. And I was like, shit, you do got a point. And she was just like, oh, like, you know, she just wanted to sit on the phone, I guess, and hear the background. So that's I kind of felt like the baby wasn't really sick like that. She just kind of wanted him to come over there. But what happened? So, you know, I sat on the phone with her for a few minutes because I kind of did feel bad for her. Like, I really did. She had like 4 kids or something like that, 4 or 5 kids. And, you know, we was like the same age. I was young. I was in my 20s, mid-20s, early 20s back then. So I was just like, damn, like, you know, and she clearly had her whole mind wrapped around this nigga. You know, and this nigga just didn't care. Like, he just was over here with me and, you know, like, wasn't trying to hide it, like, once she found out. So I was like, damn, like, but I wasn't gonna stop fucking with him either, but I did feel kind of bad. But yeah, like, I think she kind of thought they was gonna be together and he was gonna be this certain type of way. As to where me, I kind of like, when I met him, like, he wasn't even my type. So it's not like I didn't really think that about him. I just kind of had a good time and I just ended up going feelings, you know? So, all that happened, y'all, it get way deeper. Like, this shit get crazy. Like, this shit get crazy. So, all that happened. And then, like, we are still messing with each other. We still messing with each other. So she gets to, you know, calling me. She starts calling me regularly now, trying to tell me stuff like, well, he was just over here he brought his stuff back over here. And because the thing is, I never let him bring his stuff to my house. Because, like, we wasn't doing none of that. And when he would come over, like, it would have to be, like, at nighttime. You know, like, when my baby was fed and in the bed. Because my baby never saw any of this. So, yeah. But she would call me and tell me like, yeah, he brought his stuff back over here. You know, I guess thinking that that was gonna make me upset, which it probably did bother me a little bit, but not enough to be like, okay, I'm not talking to you no more. And even if I did say it, I didn't stand on it. So I'm trying to see what's the next craziest thing that happened. So he took his stuff back over there. He kept moving his stuff and taking it back over there. And okay, so one day he I had went to see him. I had got out of school early. And I had went to see him. And it's just so crazy because I was at I had stopped at 7-Eleven to get some gas, or either Pumpkinhead had called me. And she was like, are you still, you know, talking to the leather dragon? And I'm like, yeah, girl, we never stopped. Like, you know? And so she like, oh, he lying. He said that he don't talk to you no more and this and that. I'm like, girl, listen, we done already established that he lying. You know? I mean, so what? And so she was like, I was like, I'm actually on my way over to him right now. And she was like, what, for real? I'm right down the street, so we can just go over there together. And I'm like, girl, you sure? Like, you know, I'm like, you really want to do that? She followed me over there, so she did meet me over there. And so I really wasn't really tripping because I already knew like that I was probably gonna still mess with him for the time being. But I think she kind of felt threatened by me, so she, you know, she wanted to make sure that her nigga wasn't going nowhere. We got out the car and he looking, he just smiling like, what y'all, you know, like what y'all came together? And I'm just like, man. And she like, so Leather Dragon, you need to pick right now. You need to choose like who you want to be with, man, because you keep playing. And to me, I felt like that was the wrong thing to say. Like, you don't tell no nigga, especially like in front of another female, like you need to choose, you need to pick, like pick, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already fucked up. So I'm just standing there listening. I ain't really saying nothing. I'm just standing there because I was supposed to be going over there to meet him anyway. So I just felt like this is a mess, you know, like you should have been honest from the beginning, none of this shit would have been happening. And so she like, well, who you want to be with? Like, you need to choose right now because I ain't gonna keep doing this with you. I ain't gonna keep going back and forth. And da-da-da-da. It was the same thing with the other girl and all this stuff. So I'm just like, so she asked him again. He like, well, I want to be with Joy, but I gotta ask her if she gonna be with me. Y'all don't know why he told this girl that. But at least he was honest. And like his other baby mama, it was like a whole fucking shit show. His whole other baby mama, she came. We gonna call her Ursula. So she came and she was just like, she told me like, she was just like, you messy. And I'm like, messy? Like what? And she was like, yeah, I guess Pumpkinhead had told her that I had told her about me and the Leather Dragon. But I'm like, yeah, you know, she called me asking me, so yeah, I told her. I don't think that's messy, you know. But maybe she was getting the story wrong or whatever, because me and her ended up talking later anyway, you know, being cordial after this whole ordeal. This was our first time seeing each other. So anyway, after the Leather Dragon told Pumpkinhead that he wanted to be with me, this girl go fucking crazy. She lose her mind out there. She loses her mind out there. She tries to run him over. She out there screaming and hollering and crying. And I'm just like, girl, just like, he ain't worth this, you gonna go to jail after fucking with him. Like, you know, just go home and chill, you know. She'll be over there tomorrow. And so, you know, she went crazy and she crying and stuff. So Ursula escorted her back home or whatever. So, you know, I stayed over there with the Leather Dragon for a little bit, you know, we talking or whatever. And I'm just like, man, you gotta get your shit together. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so, you know, he's just like, man, it don't even be nothing, you know, these niggas. You don't even be there like that. I'm gonna mess with her like that, man. She just keep on trying, you know. these niggas. So I was like, whatever. I ended up going home. He probably came over there that night. And I'm trying to see, it was another incident, because this dude kept going. I ain't gonna lie, he kept going back and forth. I had broken his phone one time. I got his phone. It wasn't even just, see, that's the thing. When you got a nigga and you find out about one bitch, you be thinking that all his attention and everything is just on this one bitch, which that might be the bitch who he fucking with the hardest. But it be like other bitches and other shit going on. Like, it be other bitches and other shit going on. I found so much shit, like it wasn't even nothing consistent, just different little bitches, just different little conversations and shit. And I'm like, man, you would think like a nigga would be trying to like get some money or get something established, but depending on what type of a dude you dealing with, once you get that phone, that's gonna tell you everything. It's gonna tell you what he got going on. And he had a whole lot of bullshit going on. So I was just like, man, I'm really finna be cool on you, because it's too much. Like, you know, you got too much. Yeah, to be good, but it's just too much going on. So so I ended up, I was calling him, he wasn't answering the phone. So I drove by, you know, his little area or whatever where he be. And lo and behold, he come out holding his chest, gushing blood everywhere, like bleeding. Like I thought he got shot, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm like, what the hell? I'm in my car, and Pumpkinhead come running behind him, blood everywhere. And he get in the car, he like, he get in the car. And she like, Joy, come follow us. And I'm like, follow you. I'm like, what happened? Where you going? She like, just follow us, I'ma tell you. So I'm like, damn, like, I don't wanna be accessory to this shit, what's going on? So my dumb ass follow. I follow, and we get to the fire station, and they tell me like, well, Pumpkinhead tell me like she had stabbed him. And I'm like, bitch, you stabbed him. And she like, yeah, like, I ain't mean to, like, come to the hospital with me. Nah, sis, I'm finna go, like, y'all tripping. So he goes to the hospital or whatever. He ended up getting out, you know, whatever. He ended up coming back over to our place or whatever. I mean, the shit just kept going on. Until one day, y'all, I got super fucking tired. I'm like, man, this shit is too much. I don't know if this dick worth it. Like, I don't know if it's just too much going on. Baby mama keep calling. Like, it's just too much. Niggas getting stabbed. Like, it's too much. So, my first love, right, y'all, my first love had contacted me. He called me, he finna come down here. He had some stuff going on, you know. He finna come down to Dallas. He finna come chill with me. So I was like, hell yeah. So he come down, and man, like, we really kicking it. Like, we having so much fun. I tell Leather Dragon, I'm like, don't call me no more. I think we had got into it, and he was in front of Pumpkinhead. He told me, this is before my first love had contacted me. He like, don't call him no more. So I was like, oh, that was the first time he ever told me that. So I was like, oh, okay, you know, say less. So just so happened, my first love contacted me, and he came down. So I was like, bet, you know, so I was kicking with my first love. We taking pictures and all on my social media and stuff, my Snapchat. So the Leather Dragon's other baby mama, Ursula, she followed me on my Snapchat, and she screenshotted me and my first love and sent it to the Leather Dragon. Y'all, the Leather Dragon went crazy, calling me back to back, hollering and screaming, threatening to come to my place. Now see, my first love, he don't play that shit, so it would have been a mess over to my place. And I'm like, like, no, we can't, you can't come over here. So he like, you need to meet me right now and all this stuff. And I'm just like, man. So I ended up meeting him just so he wouldn't come over to my place, you know, to where I was at late in the night too, you know. I be doing all my dirt late in the night. So I went and met him or whatever, you know, just to calm him down. Anyway, long story short, my first love ended up going back, and what happened? The Leather Dragon, he ended up going to jail, y'all. Oh wait, before he actually went to jail, we had got into it at where we get into it? We had got into it somewhere in his little hood, and the police came. So when the police came, he told them that I hit his car with my car. But, you know, I was crying and I'm just like, you know what, I just don't, you know, I'm telling them kind of what's going on with the situation. And they're like, you're just so pretty. Like, what are you doing with him? Like, he's nothing. And they're like, well, we're going to take him to jail for tickets. And I'm like, okay. So I had one of my other homeboys pull up while they had him in the back of the police car. And so my homeboy, you know, he get out, he like, what's wrong? And I run to him boo-hooing like, somebody hit my car. And I'm laying on his chest, but I'm looking at him while I'm laying on his chest. He in the police car and I'm smiling. And he like, y'all, he beating the window. Like, look at her. This whole playing shit, this whole playing the game. And so he only went to jail for like a day or two or whatever. He got out and I think we were back messed around a little bit. I think there was another big incident. Okay, so I ran out of memory. So I'm trying to hurry up so my camera don't die. But okay, so I think there was one other big incident that happened. I think we had got into it at his house and I ended up busting out all his windows. Cause he had busted out my window, y'all. See, this was toxic as fuck, crazy as fuck. He had busted out my window. I want to say like a couple of weeks or something before, but he wouldn't got it fixed, and I ended up busting out all his windows. And he went to my car and got my keys in my car, and I'm like, I thought he was gonna try to break my window again, but he like, you going to jail today, ho? You going to jail today? So I'm like, oh, you gonna call the police on me? You gonna call the police on me? He like, hell yeah. So, you know, we going back and forth. I'm trying to get my keys. He ended up giving them to me and I left. But a little bit after that, it was, you know, it was kind of over. He ended up going to jail. I ended up meeting somebody else. And yeah, so I think we kind of had like dibble and dabble a little bit, you know, after that. But pretty much it was kind of over with. Like it became too much. So yeah, y'all, that's my story about when the other chick contacted me. But anyways, y'all comment below if y'all have ever had anything like that happen to y'all, or what part y'all think was the craziest. Yeah, y'all talk to me in the comments. But I'm about ready to end this video. It's late. I'm gonna take a shower, wash my face, and get in bed. But if y'all made it to the end of this video, you're the real one. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to join the fam. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.